It's the next big scandal waiting to happen.
A former Prime Minister under fire. After weeks of silence, David Cameron, who himself in 2010 warned about lobbying, has admitted he shouldn't have emailed or texted cabinet ministers on behalf of Greensill Capital. But as pressure builds for an investigation, he also defended his right to represent the business's interests at the very heart of government. Employed by Lex Greensill to advise his financial services company, Mr Cameron wasn't a lobbyist, but the methods he used to win influence are under the microscope nonetheless. His text to Chancellor Rishi Sunak's personal phone and a private drink with Health Secretary Matt Hancock, all designed to win favour for the company he stood to gain millions from, have focused attention on who has the ear of the cabinet. Now, finally, he has addressed the criticism, claiming the company's ideas were good and its backers high profile with sound financial judgment. In a lengthy statement, Mr Cameron said, "In my representations to government, I was breaking no codes of conduct and no government rules. The Registrar of Consultant Lobbyists has found that my activities did not fall within the criteria that require registration. Ultimately, the outcome of the discussions I encouraged about how Greensill's proposals might be included in the government CCFF initiative and help in the wake of the coronavirus crisis was that they were not taken up. However, I have reflected on this at length. There are important lessons to be learnt. As a former Prime Minister, I accept that communications with government need to be done through only the most formal of channels, so there can be no room for misinterpretation." Although the Treasury says Mr Cameron's tactics didn't change the outcome in this case, there are still big questions about whether Greensill's ability to meet face-to-face with cabinet ministers like Matt Hancock helped the company win contracts which ultimately Mr Cameron stood to gain financially from. What this really comes down to is how much influence the former holders of this prestigious office should keep once they leave it. Some believe the rules for former ministers must now change.
It's about a level playing field. The private sector should all have a similar access to government. And there's no reason why the Prime Minister or the chief executive of the company couldn't have just written to the Treasury in the same way that any other company asking for some advice and help. But they didn't do that. They used an ex-Prime Minister to really put the screws on the Treasury to try and get help in with their financial problems.
Mr Cameron will hope that his statement puts an end to accusations he acted inappropriately in seeking to influence senior cabinet ministers, but it's unlikely to. In reality, this episode will reignite a tricky political debate about how former ministers should be allowed to use their contacts after they leave office. Kate McCann, Sky News.